Koto katoa. Welcome to Nainai Bowling Club in Lower Hutt for finals day of the Bowls3Five Interclub finals, where 10 clubs from around the country are vying for 2 places in the Bowls3Five competition on Sky Sport late. Out over 2 sections, over 5 rounds. Hastings and Nelson emerging from Section 1, and in Section 2 it was the Parajacks and the Henuera Heat. And then we had our semi-finals play out earlier today, and it was Nelson beating Henuera in straight sets and Hastings beating the Parajacks in straight sets. So we're going to see a rematch of Nelson and Hastings from Section 1 playing out in the final. Both sides secure in Bowls3Five on Sky Sport, but for the extra glory of a national title, Nelson, Val Smith, Richard Collett and skip Joe Edwards against Hastings, Pam Rowlands, Alex Jones and their skip, Dean Drummond. I'm Brenton Vannisselroy, and in commentary with me this afternoon, Kevin Hickland.
Yes, good afternoon to this final here at the Nainai Bowling Club, about to get underway. The Nelson Club was formed in 1888 with a membership of around 80 players, and the Hastings Club with a membership of 60, and they've won their way through to the final. And certainly as far as Nelson is concerned, this is a continuation of the absolute golden summer that the Nelson Bowling Club and the Nelson Bowling Centre have had throughout this summer. And it's great to see Hastings, who the first time lining up in this event, and the Dean Drummond skip side have certainly deserved their way through to the finals. They've been the king of the tiebreakers over the 2 days here, and I'm sure we're in for a fantastic final here at this final of the Bowls3Five Interclub finals at Nainai.
As I mentioned, these 2 sides met in section play round 4 last night. It was Hastings who won the first set 7-2, Nelson winning the second 10-1, went to a tiebreaker, and Nelson winning that tiebreaker to secure their place in the semi-final. Then earlier today, of course, that win over Henuera in straight sets. Hastings getting the better of the Parajacks in straight sets. So you've got to think, Kevin, maybe a bit of the pressure off in a final, which is rare to say, because the main job, the main task, and what everyone was after was a place in Bowls3Five on Sky Sport. They're now in that 8-team competition, joining Stokes Valley, Elmwood Park, Gore, Stoke, Point Chev and Manurewa, and they can play with a bit of freedom out there in the final.
They certainly can, but you know, I'm sure both of these teams or clubs would love to be able to put the plaque up in their respective club rooms that they've won this particular event. And I think the highlight for me in this particular event here, of this final, Brendan, is we're watching, I think, the 2 best leads that we've seen right throughout the 2 days here. And the first team we're looking at this final clearly illustrates that. Pam Rowlands leading for the Hastings Hornets, and Val Smith have been outstanding right throughout this event, and have set their sides up to be here in the final. And a big pat on the back to these 2 players, because they certainly, both of them have been outstanding.
And just what we expect from them. Look at those four bowls from the 2 players, Pam Rowlands and Val Smith, right on cue. Very impressive, as is this young man, Alex Jones, number 2 for Hastings. Very young in his bowling career.
Yes, 3rd-year player. In fact, he was telling me in between the games, Brendan, that he played his first year, so a number of years back, and then had a 12-year break, and has come back and played year 2 and 3, and certainly he's proved himself to be right up there with the goods, that's for sure. And the other interesting thing with the Hastings Club, they're only one of, we think, 2 clubs in New Zealand are a purely an indoor carpet club themselves, and the complex down in Dunedin. Hastings Club used to have an outdoor facility, not now, and they these guys here, they play all of their club bowls, so to speak, at the Hastings Indoor Club. As we see here, trying to get down to the jack is Alex Jones. Very tight, that first end. Indication there from Joe Edwards. It is the Val Smith bowl, which is sitting inside the ring. That is the shot bowl.
And quite a coup for Nelson Centre now to have 2 sides of the 8 in Bowls3Five. Nelson, of course, joining Stoke, who were champions in season 2, and have the likes of Shannon McElroy on their side.
Oh, you look at the Nelson, the Stoke side. You've got, Kirsten Edwards. You've got Shannon McElroy, Peter Hodgson, Jimmy Pugh. You've got a very, very good side there
Selena Smith.
Selena Smith, of course, who played for them. Be interesting was the Nelson side because, membership about 80. They've got some, how many will make up their squad or not. They've got Colin Earl. They've got another couple of good players there. But these three players themselves make a very, very formidable side, no doubt about that.
And we've seen a few female skips in Bowls3Five, but not consistently. And you'd think Jo Edwards would be the skip for Nelson once they are in the main game. So couldn't wait to leave me in the commentary booth to be out there.
1 year.
She's gone. Just like Gary Lawson only lasted 1 year in commentary as well before he decided he wanted to play. Gary Lawson didn't have to win his way into the competition like Jo Edwards has.
This new format they used this year, Brendan, I think, I reckon it's great how they've invited the other two teams back that got relegated.
Absolutely.
Give them every opportunity to make their way back into the finals again or into the TV event, and then bringing all the others together. And it's as it's seen now, we're going to have two new sides. No disrespect to the Parajacks and the Hinuera Heat, and of course the Royal Oak Rockets. But it's great to see that. This is what the opportunity opens the event up, I think.
No, I think so too. And there is that opportunity for those clubs who were relegated. They don't have to go through the national qualifying like all these other clubs did, like Hastings and Nelson do. They don't have to win their centre titles or anything like that. They get an opportunity to get through this final 10 stage.
Here's interesting. Jo Edwards doesn't want to play the last bowl.
Alex Jones is saying, I don't know if you got shot.
Yeah, Alex Jones is saying, I'm not going to give you the shot that easy, so you can't measure it. So I'm not going to concede it. You're going to have to play it.
Fair enough too.
Yeah. So Jo Edwards
trying to work out what she'll play then.
So
he's going to have a look.
Jo
After all that,
have a look, and will make the decision whether she's going to accept the measure or play her bowl. Now, from our position here, it's obviously impossible for us to judge. But if we look in those
I would favour the Val Smith bowl.
I would, the way how it's sitting inside that inner ring.
It's all inside the ring, whereas part of the Pam Rowlands bowl looks like it's on the inner ring, maybe, or over it. You know what I mean?
There's sort of that part of the bowl appears to be over it. Not going to play, so we're going to have an umpire straight away. So Jo Edwards is obviously confident that they've got the shot. Not going to play. Michael Johnson now to make that decision with the measure.
So it shows the tightness of this final right on the opening end.
But to be
fair, called in.
To be fair to Alex Jones, if it's that close, you're not going to just give it away.
Oh, absolutely not.
So, even if Jo Edwards, the Nelson side, does have the shot, it's the right call by Alex Jones because it's very, very close. And that's, you can see.
The calipers are out.
Yeah, you can see it is close.
It's coming back to the Val Smith bowl, which we think is shot, but there's really very little in it, and it is. So 1-2, Val Smith and Nelson. So they draw first blood in the final. 1-0, Nelson lead after the first end of 5. First set of 2 in the Bowls3Five Interclub final. And both sides have the place confirmed already in Bowls3Five on Sky Sport in the 8-team competition this year, season 4 of the competition.
So Val Smith continuing with that fine leading form, just going by the jack, but still sits inside that inner ring. Pam Rowlands just asking that marker to move obviously in the line of her mark on the green where she likes to take her line from. As it comes towards the head now, and this is a good bowl here, opening bowl from Pam Rowlands.
Well, it's great to see these two just continuing where they left off in the earlier games today, isn't it? Saw Pam Rowlands in the 5th and final round action earlier this morning against Royal Oak. They won that in a tiebreaker. 3 of their 4 wins in round robin play were in tiebreakers. The other one was a tiebreaker loss to Nelson.
So, been very impressive has Pam Rowlands and Val Smith. These two players have been outstanding, and here's Smith on the reply and just going to draw low of the jack. Dean Drummond looking. So Dean Drummond obviously still confident that they're holding the shot. Pam Rowlands will now play on her forehand, but look at those 3 bowls, Brendan, all within 18 inches of the jack, the whole 3 of them. So Pam Rowlands looks on the wider side as it goes past us here in the commentary position, but that's not going to be. In fact, it's low of weight. And change of hands, so obviously got a favoured side that Pam Rowlands likes to play on. Joe Edwards now saying to Richard Collett, play down here on your backhand, either turn at the Pam Rowlands bowl or get a turn on the Val Smith front bowl. Will be a good result for us. Richard Collett is going to go past the head. Joe Edwards won't mind that. It's over the head. Dean Drummond indicating to Alex Jones.
Yeah, he's going to miss. Miss long is not the worst result. Rather, you don't want to be short. Another good tight head developing here.
So Jones endeavouring to get down to the jack area. It's going to finish up low of the jack and slightly under the line. Val Smith even given instructions to Joe Edwards for what shot Richard Collett should play. But that draw shot, I think that Richard Collett was attempting to play with his first, is obviously the best percentage shot. You can turn the Val Smith bowl over on that backhand draw, or in fact sit inside the bowl of Pam Rowlands. He's certainly got a different line than his first, but going to go by with that weight again.
Yeah, he's going to find a pretty similar home in the end. Just nestled in the bottom of the screen and behind the head.
Well, the big thing is, though, Brennan, is as we've said a number of times in this commentary, as long as you're not putting yourself in a position where you're likely to, or possibility of dropping a significant number, and this is not going to happen here. As you can see, that bowl of Alex Jones is going by. Good thing is, of course, that for the Nelson side, Joe Edwards could turn that bowl through and get a good result and put the pressure on Dean Drummond on the draw. And I'm sure that's the shot that Joe Edwards will be looking at. Val Smith just having a look to actually see who has got shot.
Just a reminder, this is the second end. Nelson took the first end 1-0. Just fixing a few of our cameras here, having moved rinks. We've been broadcasting from rink number 8 throughout 2 days of play here, and have moved to rink 7 for our final of the Bowls3Five Interclub
Closest
finals.
bowl of Joe Edwards. Look at this. Sits inside that bowl of Pam Rowlands. Turns it over. Makes shot of it.
Stunning bowl. Absolutely stunning bowl. We shouldn't be surprised. See it time and time again from Joe Edwards.
Magnificent bowl. And Dean Drummond now trying to repeat the Joe Edwards bowl. Playing it on the other hand. Just going to drop under the Val Smith bowl. And you can see it's the bowl of Joe Edwards. It's only a couple of centimetres between the jack and where the bowl's sitting as shot. And as Brendan rightly said, there's a player that's more than capable of playing these shots. It's Joe Edwards, of course, who retired as the #1 women's player in the world, retired from the international scene. And they're looking at this one as well. Has it got the weight? No, it hasn't. Needs a couple of more rolls. Dean Drummond will stay on his forehand, trying to get to the shot bowl, get a touch to the jack as well. Doesn't like it. It's that, if that's the body language tells us anything. It's a good attempt here. Runs into the Val Smith bowl. One down is the call.
Yeah, very good attempts. Another very good end, befitting of this final. It's another for Nelson though, so 2-0. They now lead after 2 ends of 5 first sets of our Bowls3Five Interclub Finals Tournament decider.
Well, of course, with only 5 end the playoffs, of course, no 5 end sets, they very quickly get through these, and the ends the ends go past you real quickly. And of course, don't forget, we have got the option of the power play for both of these sides to use at their discretion throughout these 2 sets. As we see, that's the first time I've seen Val Smith play that bowl, which is should be very disappointed. Good a couple of metres short. Opens the door here for Pam Rowlands, a very consistent Hastings lead.
Oh, we certainly didn't see that in their semi-final against Hinuera. Val Smith being short. Not that short anyway.
And Pam Rowlands endeavouring to take advantage of that, and is going to do so, and draws inside to the centre line, just outside that outer circle. But a good start from the Hastings lead. Val Smith on her backhand, and I'm sure we'll see her improve on her first bowl, which is set a couple of metres short, and we haven't seen that throughout this event. Been very consistent. Has Val Smith now trying to get past her own short bowl, going to do so, and will finish jack level literally and make shot of it. That's what we've come to expect, and we've seen end after end from Val Smith.
Yeah, been very, very impressive. As Joe Edwards said, she was the player of the game in their semi-final. Absolutely set it up for her old mate, long time friends. Started bowls together at the Nelson Bowling Club, back at the Nelson Bowling Club after obviously a long time away, both returning home from Australia, where they've been based in recent years in 2020.
So Richard Collett just going to sit under the jack, sits jack level. Very good bowl from the Nelson number 2. Alex Jones able to follow the Richard Collett bowl. 3rd-year player from the Hastings Club. This looks on a fairly good line. He's going to get all the way back on the weight. Just needs to be inside those counting bowls. Had the right weight, Brendan. Just more than likely a bowl wide.
Yeah, good effort, wasn't it? And now Joe Edwards saying, Richard, come on the backhand side here. Try and land on the bowls of Pam Rowlands.
So Richard Collett, you may have heard saying he's a bit tight, doesn't want to get the jack. Well, he did, and actually he's made it better for the Nelson side, because he'd moved the jack closer towards his own bowl, tightened the line up, and of course his bowl as well just rolled past that of the jack.
Now Alex Jones changing hands, coming on the backhand himself now, trying to come through this corridor, get a trail on the jack, move it back to his previous, but he started it out too wide, asking a bit too much of it. Didn't really have the weight in it, probably a foot more of weight, and that line wasn't quite right. Decent bowl nonetheless, but just missed his target by a small margin.
So they make their way back, Dean Drummond and Joe Edwards, for this the 3rd end, with Nelson leading 2-0 and holding the shot on this the 3rd end of 5. Remembering Nelson beating Hinuera in their semi-final, and Hastings defeating the Parajacks earlier as well in their semi-final. Joe Edwards on The forehand. Taking a keen interest in this bowl. Has it got the weight? No, it hasn't. Of course, the problem for Dean Drummond is the lines to draw to the jack are that much tighter now because you've got bowls around the head, and there's your draw lines are very precise. And this is a good attempt here from Drummond, trying to get to the jack. And he was only about, only went by 18 inches and was certainly on a good line to get to the jack.
Well, he asked Alex Jones to do just that. Jones wasn't quite able to execute. Drummond, with his first attempt, not far away at all.
Well, this is a big end now in the context of this first set, playing end 3. And here is Joe Edwards. Not sure, that's more than likely counts, I would say, because it's where it's sitting inside touching the inner circle.
Yeah, it's going to be close. I think it might just be out. Still favour maybe the Alex Jones bowl. That was to the right of the pitcher now, which is actually touching the circle, whereas the...
So Dean Drummond trying to get down to this counting bowl.
That certainly makes it 2.
It's a great effort, though.
Yeah, it was. It was a touch narrower with that one. So 2 to Nelson. So they continue to shut out Hastings in this first set, 4-0. They now lead after 3 ends of 5. First set, and this our tournament decider of the Bowls3Five Interclub finals at the 9i Bowling Club in Lower Hutt. There's again a mat put all the way up. Jack in the middle of the 3 targets for Nelson. And Val Smith looking to go back to work. Serious look on her face as she steers this one, watches it go down the green, and again right on that inner circle, right on target from Val Smith, who's been ultra consistent. We say it time and time again, but it's been quite a performance from Val Smith today.
Certainly has been, as we play in 4, and you'll see the Val Smith bowl sitting just alongside the jack. Pam Rowlands going back to her favoured hand. This is going to be a good bowl as well. Just sits just jack level. Of course, you get bowls around the head like that, Brendan, you're not going to be dropping big numbers. It just reduces the likelihood of 4s. And these 2 leads have been, as we said right at the start of this commentary, my viewpoint, these 2 leads have been, the 2 outstanding form players off the front of all the teams here. And there's Val Smith again, putting another bowl right in that inner circle. Now you've got 3 bowls that are just all locked on top of one another.
And you can see why these 2 sides have made the final, just judging by the heads we've had. First 4 ends, all very tight heads. It's what you like to see. And it's been started with these 2 ladies off the front, Val Smith and Pam Rowlands.
And it's interesting though, you can see the favoured hand here of Pam Rowlands.
Forehand is not as consistent as the backhand.
Played 2 shots on that forehand side in this first set.
Come up well short, haven't they?
Both have been, and very comfortable on the backhand. Just highlights. Yeah. So you hear Joe Edwards saying, playing up to that, because Richard Collett makes contact. So no, Joe Edwards is quite happy for Richard Collett to come behind the head. It's leading 4-0. And if you're holding the shot, you don't need to do a lot with one end to go after this. You don't need to sort of try anything too fancy.
Well, Richard Collett was suggesting about playing to Val Smith's bowls, but then Joe Edwards pointed out if you do that, you could actually move the Pam Rowlands bowl into shot. So let's not do that, and executing exactly what Joe Edwards was after. Bowling behind the head, holding shot in a comfortable position here.
Well, it again confirms the international experience that Joe Edwards brings, literally saying to they have to play the shot. We're holding the shot. they've got to play the shot, and we're leading on the board, and it's just good. To me, it's good game management that showed by Joe Edwards here. And from the Hastings point of view, the head's building up in such a way it's difficult for them to score a number on this, the fourth of the 5 ends.
Well, exactly right. And I think it's an end that Hastings have to win if they have a chance in this first set, with just an end to play after this.
Of course, the big advantage now, which Nelson have got on this particular head, is they've got those 2 bowls of Richard Collins behind the head. Nelson holding that advantage, and of course Hastings don't have any bowls over the head, so it means that they really are dead drawing for one, or to get a slight touch possibly on the jack to move it to where that Pam Rowlands bowl is sitting. And Alex Jones again, great effort. You got 1, 2,
2
5
identical bowls.
So
in the
you've
end.
still got 5 bowls, Brenton, all within, they're all
metre.
locked on top of one another, aren't they? So
and Richard Collett's bowls have been placed exactly where he was asked to place them as well.
Absolutely.
So really, that's 7 fantastic bowls out of 8.
So the scoring chance really here for the Hastings side is that touch on the jack, to try and endeavouring to get about 6 inches on the jack to move it around the corner with the that bowl, and of course would bring possibly the Pam Rowlands bowl into play. Now, Joe Edwards, being the experienced international player that she is, she won't be opening the gate for the Hastings side. So here is Edwards. That delivery we've seen over so many years on the forehand. We'll be quite happy if she gets the jack going to get. So there's another bowl in that now. That in fact did rock the Pam Rowlands bowl actually out. Now, if we're looking directly out onto the heads right in front of us, and when we're sitting, and it's all just one line, and there's a lot of bowls sitting there, it's for sure, and they're all locked on top of one another.
So he's not going to be able to get any favours off any of the short bowls. Dean Drummond, he has to dead draw this.
Dead draw, and a bonus is if he got a touch on the jack, but dead drawing is his best option.
He's going to have to move the jack sideways, isn't he, really, to get...
This is a good attempt. This is a very good attempt from Dean Drummond. Just going to go by. Sits on the Richard Collett, one of the Richard Collett bowls. So the danger's been taken away now, knocking that Pam Rowlands bowl in for shot after Joe Edwards got a touch on it with her first. Now she can safely play down on that backhand side. Perhaps turn one of the front bowls in, which are only...
She gets on the inside of that Pam Rowlands bowl. She can knock it out and add another to the count for Nelson.
And this is on a good
far
line.
away.
Just going to sit on this.
Just got it flush rather than getting on the inside of it. It's really only a couple of centimetres away. Been a fantastic bowl.
Well, there's only one bowl on this whole end, Brennan, which is sort of not literally in the area, isn't it?
Yeah, not gone where it's supposed to. And that was the Pam Rowlands second bowl. Other than that, it's been a very good end of bowls. Another tight end, but it's going to be another tight end that goes Nelson's way. I think they were holding 2, regardless of that bowl. And that's what it is. So 2 more for Nelson. 6-0 they now lead. So that is the first set, you'd think. But barring an absolute miracle here, if Hastings can score from all 6 of theirs on the 5th and final end, or we're going to see a brash power play like we saw in the semi-final against Henrietta. Not to be.
It's, you would then still have to score 4.
4, exactly. 4 to win the end, 3 to tie it.
Which is a pretty big ask, isn't it?
It would be a big ask. Yeah, so Nelson very much in control of this first set. Just looking to close it out. 6-0 they lead after 4 of 5 ends.
And the reason why they're in control is because of, again, what Val Smith is consistently producing in her lead role for the Nelson side. And, you know, as we said earlier on in this commentary, might have been yesterday, Brendan, if you're consistently drawing inside the circle, you're not very far away. Pam Rowlands going to
come up short on her favoured backhand side.
Change your hand here from Joe Edwards, saying we're not going to go anywhere near that bowl. Change your hand, beat your own bowl, turn your own bowl over. Val Smith will now play on her forehand. And Smith, of course, already booked a spot in the televised event, but the Nelson Club would certainly like to add another title to their array of titles that they've collected this year. They've been outstanding.
Yeah, it's no coincidence that Joe Edwards and Val Smith return, and all of a sudden the titles start flowing.
Class is permanent.
Yeah, superb players, two of New Zealand's all-time greats. Joe Edwards, of course, late last year announcing her retirement from international play, but still very much one of the very best on the local scene, as she's shown, along with her long-time mate Val Smith, helping Nelson to the National Women's Intercentre title at the Wilton Bowling Club in Wellington.
What's interesting, when you come
winning
to
the Interclub.
When we come to the televised event, we're going to have two of our recently retired blackjacks. One on the Stoke side, that is Shannon McElroy, and of course,
sabbatical, isn't it? He may return.
Sabbatical.
He may indeed return to international bowls, but yes, both out of the Nelson Centre. Shannon McElroy, who's announced that he's taking a step away from the international game for a few years to focus on family.
Great bowl there from Alex Jones, draws right behind the jack and will be shot. And of course, also in that Stoke combination is former blackjack Kirsten Edwards, who will also no doubt be part of the Nelson side. And Richard Collett trying to get to the Jones bowl, does so. It's a touch on the jack, just falls out. There's the two bowls you can see there, the whitey coloured bowl of Alex Jones and the double blue of Richard Collett.
Of course, Kirsten Edwards had twins, and so didn't feature last season for Stoke, but no doubt will be back this year.
And of course, all of these players we're talking about will be part of the very strong South Island side, which will be bringing you coverage of the North-South match to be played in Dunedin later on this year. The players that we were just talking about then will all be lining up in the South Island side. Very strong South Island side, of course. The return of as the two blackjacks, Ali Forsyth and Caitlin Inch, coming back into the South Island side makes the South Island side a pretty formidable lineup.
Yeah, if they weren't strong already, adding those two, it's made them even stronger. Yeah, North Island's got a lot of work to do, I think, when it comes to the new format for North-South in September in Dunedin. Looking forward to bringing you that.
And it will be good to see our three Australian-based players, Krista Leave as well, based out of Queensland, the three players all coming back to play in the North-South match. It's great to have them back playing.
Well, exactly. Obviously, having to miss the recent Nationals because of COVID. It wasn't obviously, there's no travel bubble at the start of the year or in late February, early March. So, I mean, for Caitlin Inch, unable to defend her singles and pairs titles that she won in Christchurch at the start of 2020.
So we come to the end of this first set. Joe Edwards endeavouring to thread the needle down through here, just under that bowl. What a sterling effort. Dean Drum saying, we've got the shot. Yes, we have. We're not going to play it.
So Hastings on the board, but it's Nelson who take out the first set of our tournament decider here at the National Interclub Finals at the 9-0 Bowling Club in Lower Hutt. 6-1. 6-1, Nelson take the first set. So one hand on the trophy to the Nelson Bowling Club.
So the jack's been placed, and Val Smith will, it's on the second circle. Match not all the way up. Val Smith now will play on her forehand. Played so consistently, as we said.
Yeah, this has been the length they've liked as well. Nelson, Matt all the way up, Jack in the middle mark. It's because Val Smith has been able to do things like this. Not quite the perfect line, but that weight near perfect. Well, time and time again, she's been threatening those target circles.
Well, the big thing is as well, Brenton, and again, it's something you and I have discussed a number of times before, it's the importance of getting back to that centre line as well all the time, which Val Smith has been doing, as we see Pam Rowlands back on her favoured backhand side and draws a toucher on this, her first bowl of the second set. Smith will follow that on the forehand.
That's what they need, Hastings. They needed to be first to the jack off the front, didn't they? Pam Rowlands getting that toucher.
I don't think...
doesn't like this, Valerie.
Body language gave us a pretty good idea of her like of this particular bowl. Just goes by her own, her first bowl.
Right back to that centre line that you were talking about. But just too much weight. I think she knew straight away that she'd given it a bit too much. Pam Rowlands able to continue down her favoured backhand side.
And will come by the jack and sit past the outer circle, but over the head. It's a good home there. Only movement of the jack by Richard Collett here on the forehand. It's always good to have that cover bowl there, which is what Collett will be trying to reach that bowl of. Pam Rowlands under the line. Richard Collett knew that straight away and walked away. So Alex Jones now, you would hear Dean Drummond saying, there's your jack you're playing to, the bowl of Val Smith on the forehand. Reach that bowl, just inside that bowl and you'll count. It's going to be under the line, but depends on the weight's good. We'll sit every two for sure. Good thing it's over the head as well, so it doesn't give them a bowl to rub off on Jack low, of course, that can happen. Collett endeavouring to rest that bowl or get a touch on the jack. He's certainly got a different line. Is it good enough, the line? Is a good attempt from Richard Collett. It needs to fall in. And still holding the shot is the Hastings side.
Yeah, still Pam Rowlands' first bowl. A toucher is the shot for Hastings as they look to get on the board first in the second set. Nelson have won the first 6-1. Of course, 2 sets, 5 ends in Bowls3Five. For a set apiece, we go to a tiebreaker.
Needs to be careful here where it goes and moves the bowl around the corner, falls the bowl over onto the jack.
Onto his own.
And still leave him holding one shot. You'll see the marker there indicating. Putting the lollipops up, one blue, indicating that it is Hastings who are holding the shot.
So, vastly different looking head now from that movement from Alex Jones. So, it worked out all right in the end.
Well, of course, he had a wee bit more weight on as well on the way through, which is... It's Joe Edwards on her forehand. Trying to play up to the Collett bowl to turn that into the shot bowl or the jack. Just going to slip under jack level. And of course, from Dean Drummond's point of view, it's not a big head to score numbers on, but the big thing is to score, open the second set, get points on the board.
Absolutely, and that's going to be the target. Of course, it doesn't matter how much you lost the first set by. Win the second set, you get back to a tiebreaker, as these two sides did when they met in section play. They played in the fourth round.
Superb bowl from Drummond there. Faced that bowl out of the head.
holding 3 now. So fantastic bowl from Hastings skip. Really puts the pressure here on Joe Edwards at the start of this second set. She wasn't far away too much herself. So playing with weight, she's got a target.
Playing with full weight, gets the jack out.
Spurts it out the side, and that's going to bring it all the way back to where the deepest bowl. Is that her bowl that has just fallen in there?
That's Joe Edwards' bowl.
And there's also the bowl of Val Smith back there. I think they may be holding 2, you know. But there's plenty of room for Dean Drummond to try and draw to the 2 metre mark.
Needs to come past these front bowls.
And is he going to come around?
Yes, he does.
Just enough. Gets a little touch on, I think, was the Joe Edwards bowl. So, and it's 2 in fact. So that other bowl was Alex Jones' bowl. So 2 for Hastings on the first end in this second set. 2-0. They lead Nelson. Now 4 ends to play second set. And Hastings get control of the mat and the jack for the first time since we started, and the jack's been placed all the way back, so a bit of a change of length. The mat all the way up and the jack all the way back the 2 metre mark.
2 great skip bowls there. The one of Joe Edwards, of course, to disrupt the head after Dean Drummond had played a magnificent bowl to have them holding 3 shots. Then Joe Edwards with the drive, the attacking shot, moving the jack. And then Dean Drummond adding to the count.
And then we see Pam Rowlands opening up with a short bowl, unfortunately, almost like she's been playing to the wrong length. That would have been a handy bowl, playing to the length that they've mostly played, but not to this longer length. And you can see the purple bowl finishing just outside that target circle, but not the right target circle. We're going to the deepest one.
Well, Val Smith also short, so leaves room now for Pam Rowlands on her favoured backhand now to draw down there to the deepest circle, draw inside the Val Smith bowl, and it will be shot. Certainly looks to have not enough weight.
Yeah, well under the line as well.
It's interesting though, Brendan, that was surprising they changed that circle.
Yeah, obviously I think it was more trying to put Nelson off, because Nelson had dictated the length. They changed it around, but yeah, you're right, it's backfired. In hindsight, maybe not the right idea. Those 2 bowls there of Pam Rowlands have been very handy for the other length.
Well, absolutely so, and I suppose one thing in Hastings' favour in this particular end, though, is when Alex Jones goes to play his 2 bowls, there's still going to be plenty of room.
Oh, look at that.
So, you know, it's put
Val
both
Smith
leads
has
off.
been
really
a lot better than Pam Rowlands, but still, yeah, from what we've expected from these 2 leads, well off the mark.
So here, Alex Jones, the 3rd-year player, on the backhand, endeavouring to draw through the front 2 bowls of Val Smith and draw a shot, and is duly going to, although is he? Had a bit of weight on, but may well be the closest. Still plenty of room for Richard Collett.
Yeah, expect Richard Collett to beat that Alex Jones bowl, or the bowl of Val Smith, which is just to the right of the jack. Just wants it to hold up, does Joe Edwards. Eventually does, so that will be shot.
Shot for sure. And still half a metre for Alex Jones to draw the shot, and it is 2. In fact, to the Nelson side, I just saw the marker put the lollipops up. Definitely holding 2. Can Alex Jones is under the line, needs to get past his front bowl of Val Smith.
Going to get a nice little rub, I think, there.
Road, got the inside feather.
And worked out very well. So got a bit of fortune off the Val Smith short bowl, the black and white bowl. Trailed towards the jack, so now that's certainly Hastings holding 1.
More than likely he had good weight. It was just the line was a bit astray.
Yeah.
But got the added bonus of that touch off the front bowl. Richard Collett now endeavouring to repeat. Played a good bowl with his first. Joe Edwards is keen on this one. Having a look at this as it gets down towards the counting bowl, trying to get to the jack. Doesn't do so. course, Hastings scored a 2 on the first end. So holding the shot it's good for them. Playing the second set after dropping the first set 6 shots to 1.
Power plays still to come as well. Both sides, so haven't been used as of yet. So will no doubt be a key factor the power play ends.
Someone's going to use it the next end.
Yeah, I think absolutely. Whoever loses this end will be playing their power play in the next end. I think that's a very fair guess, Kevin.
So Dean Drummond now trying to add to the count. The Alex Jones bowl. Has it got enough weight to get all the way down? It may do.
No, that's not going to count.
Needed to be in the circle to be.
Third shot, I think it is. There's the bowl just past the head. It's just outside the circle of Richard Collett, which is the second shot. You see, bottom of the screen there.
I see the Richard Collett blue bowl, and Joe Edwards is going to be under the line.
So they've found this a lot trickier, haven't they? The steady diet of the one length and slight change by Hastings has seemingly thrown nearly everyone off.
Dean Drummond changing his hand, trying to get past this front bowl.
And around that.
And if he does, it'll count. Falls in.
And that will count, you're right, that's 2. Good bowl from Dean Drummond. You see, mark indicating with the 2 lollipops to blue. That's Hastings. Joe Edwards.
What's interesting,
what can she come up with?
The last 2 ends, Joe Edwards has been under the pressure and going to go by.
And it's not going to change the situation. It's a good effort, but not close enough. So 2 more for Hastings. And we're going to see, yeah, it is power play from Nelson. So Hastings 4-0 after 2 of the 5 ends second set. And Nelson pulling their power play card out. And whatever they score, if they score on this third end, will be doubled. Hastings have taken early control of the set.
And Pam Rollins has gone back to the deepest marker, the ring, the deepest circle. So vary this around, have the Hastings side. As we watch this first bowl of Pam Rollins on the third end, coming towards the head now. This is a good opening bowl. And
it's more like it.
Just sitting literally jack level, just outside the circle. And Val Smith, no doubt, will stay on her favoured forehand.
Yeah, you understand them playing this length because it worked on the previous end, and it's the Nelson power play as well. So try and do what Nelson wouldn't want to play.
Good bowl of Val Smith. Just going to sit inside the circle.
Back to what we've seen through the first 6 ends of this contest. 7th end, she was short, but back to being right inside those target circles once more. Val Smith, now Pam Rollins with her second. Wasn't far away with her first. Looks to be finding a good home here. Look at this from Pam Rollins.
Well played, right on that inner circle there on the ring. You can see that's certainly the shot. Of course, the big thing here for Hawke's, the Hastings side, is to try and negate the power play of Nelson, because they still have, Hastings still have the power play at their disposal to use.
See how little lollipop graphic on the scoreboard as well, indicating that Hastings are holding 1.
And Val Smith is going to come up short on here. Yeah, quickly we see Dean Drummond calling to Alex Jones, follow up the Val Smith bowl, and that's the first bowl of Val Smith, which is behind the head. That's your target. Try and get to that, to sit inside between that and the jack. So on the forehand is Alex Jones.
This is handy too.
This is very handy, this bowl, as it just slips by the jack and sits right in behind on that in a circle. 2 bowls there for Richard Collett to rest on.
Oh, this is great play on the power play of your opposition. We've said it multiple times how important the power play ends, both you're capitalising on your power play and playing against the power play, I suppose defending it as well.
The power play is...
And they've done wonderfully well so far. As Richard Collett can't keep it on the surface.
Well, it's certainly, when you're in front 4-1 or 4-0, to negate the power play, it's as good as scoring.
Absolutely,
yeah. So that Alex Jones will endeavour to sit just inside that Val Smith bowl.
If they score on the Nelson power play here, they go on a long way to winning the set.
And that's exactly where he's coming. Just going to go by the Val Smith bowl.
Fair effort.
And remembering that, of course, the first bowler, Richard Collett, didn't stay on the green, but he was endeavouring to play now on that backhand, reaching up to those 2 counting bowls of Hastings with the Nelson power play. House's line certainly looks on a better line than his first, trying to get to the jack or the bowl, gets the jack clean.
Oh, unfortunate. It's rested alongside the Alex Jones bowl, so Hastings will be still holding shot. Not 2, down to 1, but what a bowl that was from Richard Collett.
So what does Dean Drummond do here? He's holding the shot. He's got the Bacchus bowl there as well. The bowl of Alex Jones is sitting in behind the head. So, knowing that you're, at this stage, you're negating the power play scoring for Nelson, we know what Joe Edwards is going to be endeavouring to do.
And he's playing first as well, Dean Drummond, so Joe Edwards will have the final say on this power play end. So he's got to try and second guess his opposite skip here, Drummond.
Endeavouring to play across to the Richard Collett bowl, is he? Just going to go by?
Yeah, I think so. I think that was the plan, try and land on the previous bowl of Collett, maybe knock it out of the head, maybe even, if you're lucky, knock out the Val Smith bowl as well. Could have maybe turned it to 3.
So Edwards, I'm sure she won't play with the same amount of weight that Richard Collett played, but she is playing with significant weight down that line.
Doesn't like it.
On the wide side, on the way through.
Turned her back on it. She's going to get a bit of fortune off that bowl.
Got the Pam Rowlands bowl.
Yeah, I thought maybe if she got on the inside of that, might have got a bit more help, but didn't. Got it flush.
So here's now Dean Drummond playing his last bowl on the 3rd end, with it being, of course, Nelson's power
This isn't
play.
far away.
This isn't far away, and back to the Alex Jones. And now, the good thing about that bowl, of course, that negates that shot that Joe Edwards wanted to play.
Now, Joe Edwards, what does she do here? He's got a wall of bowls in front of where the jack is, and then there's a Alex Jones bowl tucked right behind the jack.
That was well played by the
Taylor bowl of Alex Jones.
Now, I'm just looking at the marker to see if it gives an indication to see whether it may be, and it is 2. No, it's not 1.
Yeah, I think there's
2. It is 2.
Two.
It is 2.
2 indicated by the marker.
So this is big now in the context of this game. Hastings holding 2. Nelson's power play in 3. Hastings leading 4-0. Power play in the bank.
Yeah. Still up their sleeve, Hastings to use their power play on the final 2 ends. Joe Edwards, you'd think, simply has to come up with something magic here.
That is, I just see there Val Smith also confirming that it's 2 down as Joe Edwards makes her way back to the mat on this, the 3rd end of 5 in the 2nd set of the final of the Bowls3Five Interclub finals here at 9-8.
Here it comes. Playing with weight, trying to play through, I think, but she's going to be on the wide side. It's going to find that gap just on the other side of the wall. So it will be 2 Hastings, 2 more on the power play for Nelson. And so that's 6-0. They now lead it, and a power play called by Dean Drummond. Looking over to our commentary position to let us know. So the power play now called for Hastings, and they are in a very strong position in the second set. 6-0 they lead. And a chance to wrap it up here in the fourth end and get ready for a tiebreaker end. Nelson needing to score a decent number to give themselves a chance of at least drawing the second set, because of course a draw in the second set will be enough for Nelson, having won the first 6-1. If they draw the second set, which is still a possibility, they won't have to go to a tiebreaker and they'll win it outright.
Well, Hastings, they like these tiebreakers, don't they?
The only time they haven't gone to a tiebreaker this weekend was their semi-final against the Parajacks. Every other time, including their round-robin match against Nelson last night, have gone to tiebreakers. And on that occasion, it was Hastings who won the first set. Nelson won the second, then Nelson won the tiebreaker end. Other than that, they are perfect in tiebreakers. Hastings.
Because what's happened here as well, where the Pam Rowland's first bowl went to, actually forced Val Smith to change the hand away from the preferred hand that she's been playing. So Pam Rowland's stay on her favoured backhand. Well, she's certainly been, the backhand has been her favoured bowl for sure. And looks as though this is going to be under the line, and it is, and short. So, yeah, Joey Bird's saying to her mate, it's a long way short. That bowl of Pam Rowland's come past that bowl, Val, on your forehand.
On the Hastings power play. 6-0, they lead Nelson in the second set. Just looking to close out this second set and go to a tiebreaker. Val Smith is trying to deny Hastings that chance, though. Great bowl with her second, after being a bit touch short with her first. And that is what Nelson need. They need a few more of them, though. You think they probably need to score at least a 3.
3's the number on this end.
4s are hard to come by, and the standard of this game, a 3, and then hope for another 3 in the final end, draw the second set, win the match.
Alex Jones is going to just run into the very short front bowl of Pam Rowlands. Of course, 3 bowls now played by the Hastings side. Haven't got a bowl over their head yet. So it's not, but at the end of the day, as far as the power play is concerned, they want one shot. That's
absolutely.
They're happy to get one shot.
They're just looking to seal it here. Win the end, doubling whatever they score. It's just a bonus. Just that will seal the set. With Nelson having played their power play in the previous end, Hastings scoring on it.
Richard Collett needs to just get past him. He's going to, and sits in behind the jack, and sits just in behind there in that inner circle.
Makes 3 of it. 2 Val Smith bowls and Richard Collett bowl. The 3.
So
Nelson are holding. It's what they want.
Dean Drummond saying, just give us another yard of weight up through here, trying to make contact with something. I don't think he likes that bowl. Needs to get the Pam Rowlands bowl to reduce the count, and does. Look.
Oh, that's worked out beautifully. So from 3 down on the head, now only being 1 down.
And again, as far as the Hastings side,
don't mind that.
No, they don't. Even though they own the power play.
Exactly. They drop a 1 or a 2, they'll probably be happy with that.
That's still a good result.
Yeah, exactly. Ideally, they want to win the end to wrap it up, but only dropping a 1 or a 2, that would leave them able to, as long as they don't drop a 4 or 5 on the last end, they still win the set and you go to a tiebreaker. And that's what they want to do here.
So Richard Collett trying to draw in the port to give another counter for the Nelson side. Won't do so. And now we'll see Dean Drummond, who will go back just to endeavour to try and draw the shot for Hastings, the Hornet side. 1 down on their power play, but leading 6-0. And of course, the good thing for Hastings is they did negate the Nelson power play, so they're not exposed to a power play yet to come. So it's not all bad for Nelson.
Yeah.
For Hastings, sorry.
Yeah, just one end to come after this. This is the fourth end of the second set.
So Drummond endeavouring to get past and down to that counting bowl. The Richard Collett bowl is going to go by. Joe Edwards now trying to add to the count or to turn the bowl through the head out of the second shot bowl, which is in fact Pam Rowland's bowl. Needs to thread the needle through that very narrow port, which is what she's endeavouring to try and do. Not going to do so. Pulls up short. Dean Drummond, he'll just be endeavouring to try and dead draw the shot. Needs to have a tighter line, not going to do so. Stays outside, will remain one down as Joe Edwards to play her last bowl on the fourth end.
So trying to see how she can turn this into more than just one. And they're holding Nelson. Really think they need a 3. 2 would give them some hope.
So Joe Edwards trying to play with weight through the port to the bowl. Will she make 2 of it?
No, just the 1. And is confirmed. So Nelson score on the Hastings power play. So 6-1 it is now. 1 end to play. And Richard Collett and Joe Edwards there just having a bit of a conversation, probably about with the length they want to play in preparation, really, for the tiebreaker end.
Because they're playing for a 4.
Well, they're playing for a 5.
Well, a 4 would give. Yeah, they need. Yeah, it's a big ask, isn't it?
And they need a 5 to draw the set.
Yeah, it's a big ask.
Yeah. So I think you're preparing for the tiebreaker end, really.
Yep.
Obviously, let's give it a go. Try and get that 5 that they need to draw the set to win the match. Really, it's about preparing, you'd think, for the tiebreaker end. In all reality, these two sides are too good for either side to drop a 5 without the assistance of a power play.
On the assumption we're going to go to a power play, Brendan, the final really, it deserves that because these two teams have been...
oh, look at that from...
touch up from...
Val Smith. Good start for Nelson as they look to try and grab a 5 somehow.
The ends have been pretty tight as well in the main. But this is well under the line. This bowl of Pam Rowland's on her favoured backhand. It's going to be
a decent
shot,
home, though.
But now going to sit inside the circle. With the jack, of course, being slightly moved off the centre line with the toucher from Val Smith.
Been a very high quality final. Very good heads throughout the 9, now 10 ends of play.
And Val Smith going to get under that to the shot, is it? I think it is by the indication. Yes, it is. If we look at it now through the camera, you can see it's on that straight line to the jack.
So they need just another 4 of them to draw the second set, to win the match outright and deny Hastings the tiebreaker in to decide it.
Great attempt
here. Rowlands has different ideas. And I think they hold shot now. That ball from Hastings and Pam Rowlands is shot.
Joe Edwards saying to Richard Collett, play up here, trying to get a touch on the jack. And this will be narrow. Of course, they need every bowl in the scoring zone to have a chance of that significant number. Alex Jones now, the third-year player, Hastings Club. very consistent draw player. He's proved to be, but going to just run by. This was a good home and be quite happy with that. Well, Dean Drummond about getting bowls around the head and reducing any possible risk of a number going against them.
Well, that's the thing. They can just really try and match Nelson wherever they go, try and follow, given that they're playing the last bowl of this end.
Well, with this bowl being narrow and under the head, it's the chances are gone.
Yeah, it's going to take something. A miracle, really, for Nelson to pick up this 5.
Well, with 2 short bowls, it's. I'm not going to say it's impossible. They never say that, but it's certainly.
Basically, Hastings would have to get rid of all their bowls from the area. Currently holding shot, one of those.
It's a good bowl here from
bowls.
Jones. If it runs all the way, it needs to just keep working its way up towards the head. Won't do so, I think. You could just about concede as Joe would say, let's go to the tiebreaker. And it is 1. Marker indicating it's the Pam Rowlands bowl. There's a shot.
Use these bowls still though as preparation for the tiebreaker, can't you? So, well, I think Joe will know that the set is gone. This is valuable practice. You might need to play a shot just like this. Who knows, come that tiebreaker end.
So Joe Edwards endeavouring to draw the shot. It's just going to go under the head. Great weight.
So the second set coming to a conclusion here at the 9-0 Bowling Club in Lower Hutt. Now Bowls3Five Interclub finals. Tournament decider. Nelson, as you can see in the top left-hand corner, they won the first set 6-1. Hastings leading the second set 6-1. We're playing the 5th and final end. And Hastings are holding shot. Nelson need to come up with a near miracle, and that score with 5 of their 6 bowls without their power play. Of course, they already used that to draw the set and win the match outright. But we are very much getting ready for a tiebreaker end now.
Well, it's interesting, Brendan. We'll just see where this bowl goes. But we've got to remember that Nelson, of course, won the first set 6-1. And now Hastings are going to win either 7-1. So it's been the team that's lost the set has both been, it's been convincing in both the first and the second set. So the tiebreaker really is, I suppose, was really much on the menu.
I haven't seen any big numbers though. While the scoreboard suggests they were convincing sets, they've been pretty tight ends.
They have been
time and time again. So this end has gone the way of Hastings, just waiting for confirmation as to the number, and it is indeed 1. So 7-1. They take out the second set to Hastings, and we are going to a tiebreaker end to decide the final of the Bowls3Five Interclub here at 9i and Lower Hutt. Toss taking place with Val Smith. It looks like Hastings have won the toss.
So for those
they'll be playing last, and so they've given up the mat and the jack. So that means Nelson get to dictate the length, and they're going to their preferred length, which is the mat all the way up and the jack in the middle of the 3 spots. But having won the toss, Hastings get to play last, which is usually so important on these tiebreaker ends.
It certainly is. Now, I'm sure Val Smith playing their favoured length, be on the backhand, wanting to make this first bowl of hers, as we've seen consistently throughout this event, as close as possible to the yellow jack. On the backhand is Smith. Joe Edwards trying to get it to slow down. Will just be outside the circle. And we'll see now Pam Rowlands on her favoured backhand. And not the length that she's been favoured with, but we'll Been a very, well, these have been the two most consistent leads right throughout.
Yeah, from what we've seen, absolutely.
From the games that we've covered, these two have been the most consistent. Falling short here, though, on the tie-breaking end is Pam Rowlands.
Yeah, not what you want. So Val Smith is the one who settles the quickest with her first. Now coming with her second. Pam Rowlands has one more opportunity to find her mark. Val Smith again playing on the backhand, following this one down the rink, going to make her way alongside her good mate Jo Edwards.
Yeah, it's going to sit literally alongside her first bowl.
Two decent bowls, not inside the target circle, but in behind. So pretty good home, both bowls from Val Smith. Need something here to Hastings and Dean Drummond. Coming from Pam Rowland now. Pam Rowlands.
So how far is this going to come back? Is it going to come back all the way inside the Val Smith bowl?
Yes.
Yes, it does, and falls in.
So that'll be the shot.
And yes, it's confirmed by the marker. Put the lollipop up. So it is Hastings, the Hornets, holding the shot.
Richard Collett now. First of his two final bowls. Watching this intently down the green. This is going to come up short, just outside the circle, right back towards that centre line.
Needed two more rolls just to get into that circle, and would have
a couple more feet of weight.
Would have been shot.
So still an opening here for young Alex Jones, number 2 for Hastings.
So well under the line.
Mara, he knows it. Yeah, well short. Disappointed with that bowl. He'll hope for the correction like Pam Rowlands had with her second.
Jo Edwards just indicating to Richard Collett just to beat your own, to draw inside that of the Pam Rowlands bowl. Doesn't have to change much. This is on a good line, this bowl.
They're interested in this one.
This is a good bowl of Collett's. Needs to get inside his own bowl. Look to have the line and wait.
And again, just a couple of rolls short of where it wanted to be. He thought with Jo Edwards and Val Smith leaning over that one, that was going to turn out a better result. It's now still this opening here for Alex Jones. Needs to make an adjustment, a correction from his first.
Well, he's
done that.
He's done that, I think. He's done that.
Oh, he's done that and some.
Look at this from Alex Jones. Sits right lower the jack.
What a bowl from a third-year player.
Magnificent
Coming up against a former international and Richard Collett.
So Jo Edwards looking to play down there. Will need to play with weight, but full marks to Alex Jones. Sure, Pam Rowlands had drawn the shot, but you know there was still room in there for the draw. And that certainly, that bowl of Alex Jones just put the pressure right onto the Nelson combination, and Edwards will endeavour to play down through there with weight. So you can use the front of the Richard Collett bolt as well, but she'll be playing with reaching weight down through there on her backhand. That's exactly what she's doing, playing with weight to get the result to the shot bowl. Look at this. Look at this, and also got the Pam Rowlands bowl as well. But the Alex Jones bowl came through and sat, and it's shot.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Yeah, the marker still played it perfectly.
Yeah, very unfortunate though that Alex Jones bowl that was the shot bowl, spat out the side, but then just rested on the Pam Rowlands bowl, which was the second shot, and still holding it Hastings, despite a piece of brilliance from the Nelson skip.
Jo Edwards, that wry smile, just shaking her head because, yeah, Jo, you got it perfectly, and it just, bowls can roll in funny places.
Now Dean Drummond with Hastings holding shot. Trying to put some more pressure on Jo Edwards, force her to come up with another big shot.
And well, look at this from Drummond.
All right, makes it 2 now.
But it's where the bowl's situated is really the hard, not just the hard thing, but just restricts his shot options. And really, it's the same shot again, really, is it not? For Edwards, it's just about in a similar line to where that bowl was. And this is the bowl for Jo Edwards. to say where certainly Nelson have already got their way into the Bowls3Five TV event, but they want to win the event, as do Hastings, and it's come down to one bowl.
The thing is, it plays a similar shot. You might get rid of the shot bowl, but you need your bowl to stay there too. So
Absolutely.
it needs to be slightly different, because she needs her bowl to stay there for shot, because they're holding second Hastings as well.
So is it going to be the Nelson Club, the one green club in Nelson, membership of 80? Is it going to be, after getting the Quinella, winning, of course, the women's Interclub final, or Hastings, the membership of 60 there, the indoor club? Are they going to win this national title? It all comes down to one bowl. A whole weekend of bowls, 10 teams.
All comes down to this
One bowl
for the national title. And they're taking their time over this, as you can understand. A big bowl to come from Jo Edwards. She executed her first bowl absolutely to perfection. Unfortunate.
Just looking on the camera, Brendan, I just wonder whether that shot with weight is on the other hand as well, to play across to the collop bowl and to try and get rid, because you can knock the collop bowl. You have to play with weight.
So there's the two collop bowls of the two shades of blue bowls.
When that camera comes around again, you'll be able to see the head clearer of what. And Val Smith certainly pointing to that side of the head. Jo Edwards undecided. And there's certainly an opportunity up there on that to play to the collop bowl. Gets a ricochet through, and of course those are Val Smith bowls in behind there.
Yeah, I think they look like they're playing on the backhand though, but we'll see what Jo Edwards does do here.
And yet, playing to get that split.
All comes down to this for Jo Edwards.
Certainly playing with that weight that we spoke about, trying to get to the shot bowl, and
good effort, but it hasn't been able to rest that Alex Jones bowl, and it's Hastings who win the Bowls3Five Finals Interclub here at the 99 Bowling Club in Lower Hutt. They lost the first set 6-1, but they come back to win the second 7-1, and they win the tiebreaker in 1-0. No need to play the final bowl for Dean Drummond. Fantastic work. They're just making sure here. Val Smith.
Hello.
No need for a measure. No need for a measure. Shakes it away, and that is it done, confirmed. Hastings take out the Bowls3Five Interclub finals here at 99. Both sides, though, we will be seeing later this year in Bowls3Five on Sky Sport. I'll make my way greenside to catch up with the successful skip and leave you in the hands of Kevin Hickler.
Well, we certainly saw a fantastic final there, coming down to endeavouring Jo Edwards and trying to get that last bowl result. But we saw Nelson so convincing in that first set, winning by 6 shots to 1. Back came the Dean Drummond skip Hastings side, winning the second set by 7 shots to 1. And as it turned out, then it was Alex Jones, the third-year bowler from the Hastings club, who played that deciding bowl to make sure that Hastings are winning their national title, and now got the victorious skip. Dean Drummond is with Brendan van der Soroy.
I do indeed. Dean Drummond here with me. Congratulations, Dean. A national title for Bowls Hastings.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks very much. Yeah, speechless, unbelievable. Another tie break. What's that, about our 5th one for the week or something, so we're getting used to them now.
Yeah, do you think that helped coming to the final? You knew what this was all about?
Yeah, probably did. You know, we always, like we said, we've had a few of them, so it's always about just staying calm and playing hopefully a good one.
And Jo Edwards came up with a great bowl with her first, was maybe a tad unlucky. How was the heart palpitations going with her second?
Yeah, well, she was very, very unlucky with the first one. If Pam's bowl doesn't rock back, she's holding one and it's a completely different ball game. And then, of course, you know, she played a couple of bombs yesterday and near the end, so you just expect it out of her. And you know, she hit the area and we just somehow managed to sneak out of it.
Now Hastings with the indoor facility. Do you think that helped this weekend in Naino and prepare you quite well for Bowls3Five on Sky Sport?
Yeah, possibly. A lot different to what this is, but I guess you're playing on carpet all the time, so it must have some sort of benefit.
Well, we look forward to seeing you later in the year. Congratulations once again.
Cheers, thank you very much.
Dean Drummond, there, our skip of Bowls Hastings, the Hastings Hornets, who have won the Bowls3Five Interclub finals here at the Naino Bowling Club in Lower Hutt, capping a successful weekend for them, but also Nelson. Both sides will go through to Bowls3Five on Sky Sport later in the year. We look forward to them joining the other 6 sides later come October. Make sure you join us then, but that completes our coverage here from the Naino Bowling Club in Lower Hutt. I hope you have enjoyed what you've seen over the last couple of days. Ka kite anō.
Today we're making new friends. We're building a community. And we're still doing all the things we love. We're getting the most out of every day. One day we'll rest, but not today.